This is The Justice We Imagine, a special series from Social Justice Origin Stories. This series focuses on parts of longer conversations with storytellers where I ask three essential questions. When is true social justice possible? What shapes our approach to the work? And why does understanding and sharing our social justice origin stories matter? As you listen to their responses, reflect on what your answers might be. True social justice is possible when?
It's hard. Okay, one is humility. When there's humility, when we all sort of get off our pedestals and start pointing each other and thinking we're the best at what we do and no one else can do it. So I think humility needs to be injected into our social movements. The other one is, what was I going to say? Oh, dignity. I think people cannot be truly peaceful or liberated or many of those things without a sense of dignity. And that's also missing.
We recognize it is in all of our interests.
When there's dialogue, true social justice is possible when we have acknowledged and created space for the necessity of healing. We got to have social healing as part of the social justice story. And so whenever I'm thinking about social justice, I'm thinking about the healing that needs to happen within, between, around of us.
People are willing to do the hard thing and say the hard thing and take risks.
True social justice is possible when everyone has opportunities that everybody else has, giving everyone the same types of opportunities and really opportunities for the same outcomes, because it's not always about inputs that just make it the same. It's really about the outputs. And so recognizing that power is always going to impact the inputs, and we've got to work to mitigate that so that everybody can have the outcomes that is achievable for every single group.
I don't think it's ever existed. It is possible when all people are not only respected for who they are, but who they've been as a people. For example, we treat Black people as if we started with slavery, and there's a whole greatness predates slavery. So.
That's right. You dropped the microphone right there.
Everyone is on a unified front.
True social justice is possible when we move with community.
True social justice is possible when we care about equity for everyone. And I say equity and not equality because equity represents fairness where equality represents sameness. And we can never be an equal society if we're not an equitable society. So true social justice will be possible when we care about equity for everyone and not just people who look like us.
My approach to social justice is shaped by
many things. I will say faith and community. And history. I will say history.
The understanding that transformation is about a journey and how do we help people on that journey, and vilifying and demeaning and dehumanizing them does not help.
I'm going to be really saggy on this, but it's shaped by love.
I would say that my approach is shaped by the beliefs, my values, my love for humanity, and my desire to have all of humanity valued in the way it deserves to.
My experience, how I've been impacted, my authenticity, showing up how I see myself in this world. No matter what, I still choose the hard thing for myself.
Oh, it's certainly shaped by intergroup dialogue. Our whole conversation has been about the influence of dialogue on my life. And so it's how I approach, even as an administrator, how do I use those dialogic skills of listening and perspective taking and reflexivity, etc., to really enact change.
I vision for a world that I want my grandchildren to live in.
My ideas, my community, myself.
My approach to social justice is shaped by leadership.
My approach to social justice is shaped by faith, family, and fraternity.
Understanding and sharing our social justice origin stories is important because
I'm not a narrative person, meaning I don't like study narrative or have deep expertise, but I believe the stories are all we have. We are seeing right now in the federal government web pages being taken down that housed information that's critical, whether it's like vaccines or women's health or, even if we don't use the word DEI, right, racial equity work. And one of the ways we can fight disinformation or lack of information is through more information, through more storytelling, through more voices getting out there to counter that.
It makes us relatable. I hate the mythology that Rosa Parks was just fed up and wouldn't take it anymore and did this incredible thing. She was a part of the NAACP who planned and plotted that for years and orchestrated and was activism training and was with so many other people. And she did an incredible thing, and none of that should be minimized. But when we make people like, we got to wait for the next Martin Luther King or the next Grace Lee Boggs, then we're out of agency. We're waiting for a hero to arrive rather than saying, what can I do? What's the role I can play? What can I do? So I think sharing our stories is really important to show the journey, to show the missteps, to show the basic origin story, which I shared, which I'm not proud of. But I think maybe other people will go, oh, I've said reverse racism, affirmative action is reverse racism. Maybe I could think about that too. Or I get fed up with bad messages about men, but now he's talking about it like this. And so maybe it helps connect. I think about it as a bridge, learning as a bridge. How do we be good company on that journey? And teaching me how to fix a faucet is a pretty easy bridge. It's not easy for me to do, but I'm not resistant in that process. Telling someone who is a 65-year-old white man who grew up poor with an abusive alcoholic father that he also has white privilege, that's a challenging bridge, and you got to be different company on that journey across that. If your goal is change and growth and transformation. If you just want to belittle him, that's easy. But that's not the work that I'm invested in.
I think you feel less lonely. Yeah, feel like you belong to the people who are doing this work.
Because life is short and we need to nurture and grow and create space for the future generation of social justice warriors. We need to document our cultural assets in those leaders that we have now and honor them in that documentation. And we need to be able to find sources in this time and in this space that we can draw from as we are living in social injustice.
We're all unique and we have a special contribution to this world, to this work, and our experiences and our stories are valid. They're so valid. Whatever angle you're coming at, everybody deserves to be seen.
Origin stories in intergroup dialogue, telling your narrative, telling your story is how people connect and begin to understand how their own identities and how, by listening to others, their identity experiences are different, and starts to illuminate understanding about the world around social justice. And that's still my heart. Dialogue work is, to me, the way that I go about making change in the world. People who are having such an influence on students absolutely need to be doing that work themselves. And we at the college level need to be doing that work ourselves too.
Well, like anything else, we all come to things in different ways, and there is no one way. Not everybody comes out the same way. Not every Black person has the same life experience, but we're all oppressed. And so, it's huge.
Yeah.
It allows us to connect, to inspire, to empower, and to heal, in a sense, with each other.
Because they're artifacts to our existence and resistance. There's something that I always say, and I'm like, our stories are the artifacts of our existence. Anytime someone asks me about storytelling, I'm like, they're the artifacts of our existence on this earth. And they're erased every day. So we need to continue to put them out there as much as we can, in as many ways as we can, because we are here. That is the history that will move into the future. And that I'm like, yeah, because those are the artifacts of our existence, and they try to erase our existence at every impasse. Yes, human beings are doing it, but it's the systems of erasure that tries to take that from us. And so for me, storytelling is pivotal in the way that we mark our existence in our communities, in our family, in our countries, in our states, and in our world. They're the artifacts. And so as many stories as we can tell from all the varying experience and diaspora of communities of color, the more we have of that, especially in the United States, in the way that we are right now, in the way that this country is moving, we need those artifacts more now than ever. So if anybody listens to this, everybody tell the story.
It's important because it lets people know they are not alone. It lets people know that there are people who really care about this from a very intimate and personal manner. And it is important to share because it can also be points of inspiration.
What justice do you imagine for yourself, for your community, for your organization, for the broader world? What justice do you imagine? What shapes how you approach working towards realizing that justice? And what stories come up for you that you can share with others to build community around that work? The justice we imagine cannot be realized alone. We need everybody. And that's a core message of social justice origin stories. There's room enough for all of us in this work. And we need as many of us out here as possible doing what makes us come alive, doing the work that we are able to do in order to bring about a more just world. Thank you for listening. More to come. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and subscribe to Social Justice Origin Stories wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch video episodes on YouTube at Social Justice Origin Stories, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe there as well. Video episodes are also available on the project website, socialjusticeoriginstories.com. I'd love to hear about how you're engaging with the stories. Share your thoughts at socialjusticeoriginstories.com/contact or by emailing stories@socialjusticeoriginstories.com. To support the work of Social Justice Origin Stories, consider becoming a monthly patron. Your contributions will help keep this research going and support its mission. Visit patreon.com/socialjusticeoriginstories to learn more and to make a contribution. Again, that's patreon.com/socialjusticeoriginstories. You can start or stop anytime. Social Justice Origin Stories is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Rolando Thompkins-Jones. Many thanks to many storytellers who have contributed to this project. And thank you for joining me this week. Take care.